Okay, welcome to 6 Weeks to Success, and this is week 4, and we'll be discussing recruiting this week, another way to build your business. And with us right now is Laura, and I hope that everybody else will be listening to the recording. So here we go. And of course, Laura, since it's just you and I, feel free to jump in with any comments or questions as we go. So, okay, so what have we learned so far? So we've learned that you've got to increase your product knowledge in order to maximize your sales and your bookings, because it all does come down to, you being knowledgeable and excited and passionate about your product.
Right.
You learn that your belief decides what you believe you can and cannot do, and that your brain can be retrained. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, because I think a lot of times we have such negativity and I can't do it going on in our brain, and then you start to believe it as opposed to believing that you can.
Right.
You've learned how to talk to people out and about, and how to book parties at shows, and words to say at both. And again, I always direct you guys, if you're struggling with words to say, go to the bookings class at Pampered Chef University. The table talk are actual words to post and say and email and text and everything else. Everything is there for you.
Yeah.
You've learned that that your passion shines through and can completely influence purchases and bookings at your party. And I think that is probably most important. That's where I feel like why I'm so successful is because of my passion. You've learned that you have to host coach effectively to keep your sales high and get your bookings at every party and a constant pool of leads. That was last week's course. You learned that go ahead. You learn that your skills will make a huge difference in every party. When you know your products, you can sell your product. When you know what to say, you know how to respond to objections and turn maybes into yes. When you tweak your host coaching skills, you have much bigger parties with much better results. And host coaching is where you earn your paycheck. At the party is where you pick it up. And again, any skills that you need help on, Pampered Chef University, there is a course for everything that you need to be successful.
Yep.
Okay, so any questions about host coaching from last week?
No. And I
Is
honestly
that something
cannot.
that you feel like you do well in, or something that you need to improve on?
Oh, it's something I always need to improve on that. I feel like I always don't do enough. I need to be better at it. I feel like, I reach to the hostess maybe a couple of times via text or thing. Is there anything you need? How are you doing? And then the day or two, do you have any questions? But I feel like I need to do more actual phone calls and asking her, how many people do you have coming and what can we do to
Right.
help and how are you invited? So no, I need to do it more thoroughly.
Yeah, because I guess, just kind of go with the assumption she doesn't know what she's doing. So if you leave her to be blind about it, she's not going to know bottom line, she's not going to know to invite enough people. That's going to be the thing. It all comes down to that. She's not going to know to invite 40 people, and she's going to do a passive form of invitation, like maybe just Facebook.
Yep.
And that's the key is getting her to invite and aggressively and excitedly and passionately invite people. So yeah, so
Right.
and again, there's a lot to host coaching. You can't just change it all at once. So I say pick something that you want to, pick one thing at a time. So make that, I don't know, that first call right after you send out that host packet to discuss the details of the party. Just do that one thing. So, say, I'm going to do that with every host, and get that as part of your routine, and then go ahead and add something else to it. Don't overwhelm yourself with just trying to do everything at once.
Okay.
Okay, so today, as we said, we're going to talk about team building, and you are an awesome team builder, Laura. You have a nice big team, and you keep bringing them in. So a lot of what we have to say, you're probably already doing. But for the recording, I'm going to even have you just, maybe share some things that you are doing, because you have been very, very successful with this. Okay, so team building, and this is probably something you're finding out, Laura, is just a conversation. There's not a perfect thing that you could say to someone who's not interested. And there's nothing really wrong that you could say to a person who is going to sign up. You're just helping the potential consultant decide if this is something for them. So, really, go ahead.
Oh, I just said right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, really, it is just that is, when you're at a party and, you're talking with people, finding out their needs. Is there something about the business that could fulfill a need for them? If they're excited about the product? Would they be interested in a discount? Or were they super, helpful, or, a big part of the party, and, they were jumping in and using the tools, or they were even selling tools to their friends. Let them know how fun they were, and, how much you appreciated them at the party, and, would they be interested in doing something like this? It's just a matter of, just talking with people. I mean, that's really what it is. And I think it really is true. If somebody's not interested, I think it's pretty hard to convince them to do this, because I mean, it's a big step. I mean, it's, hosting a party is, one night of your life. To sign up is a bigger commitment. So if they're not interested, they're not interested. If they're on the fence, or they're kind of thinking about it, that's where, your conversation may sway them, one way or the other. But, and again, too, you're going to have that person who is like, yep, I'm going to sign up no matter what. They really just need you to direct them how to do it. It's really nothing that you're going to say that's going to, make them do it. So any comments on that, Laura, or any particular conversations that you remember that, did turn into a recruit, somebody joining your team?
Well, I know that one thing that I try to do is always, and I learned it from you in one of our trainings, was always tell them that the kit is the best deal,
Right.
and that it's absolutely so easy to sell it, that you can make it whatever you want it to be. You can make it just be, an occasional, you just want the discount, or you can go as far as if you want to make it your career. It can be what you want it to be, whenever you want it to be. You can fluctuate in it. So
right, yeah. And again, that's not pushy, that's not salesy. It's just, that's what it is. This is what we have to offer.
Right.
It's kind of like take it or leave it kind of thing. So
yeah,
and I think it's important, like you said, to kind of cater it to what their needs may be. Are they looking to make money? Are they looking, do they just love the product? Are they looking, pay down debt? Whatever it might be, how this could, potentially help them.
it seems like I find a lot of people feel like as soon as you say sign on to it, it's like they have this bubble in their head. They start thinking that immediately it's going to be all this work, and especially there are all these requirements they have to do, or
Right.
something. And so I try to really quick get them off of that. But no, it can be whatever you want it to be.
Right.
You
Right.
can spend as much time on it or as little. And there's no really requirements, very little requirements.
Yeah, because they do immediately think, I mean, that is always the first question. Well, how much do I have to do? What's the bare minimum? And I hate for people to think bare minimum. You don't want to work to the minimums like that, but you want to be honest with them that really there isn't that much that you have to do, and you're not really committed to anything, and then at least that gives them the opportunity to be willing to try it.
Well, I don't feel like it's any different. Like if you walk in to buy a brand new phone and everything, you're afraid of what all the hidden things there that they're not telling you.
Right.
And so that's why I look at it that and I just say, I says, there's nothing hidden here. You're not signing a huge contract that you're tied into for 3 years that you can't get out of, like a gym or something.
Right. Yeah. That's
not,
it. Because
really.
Yeah, because if that was the case, I don't know that any of us would have signed on. Because again, we got to remember that this is probably something that they haven't ever done before. So again, it's a whole new, being a salesperson, or, doing direct sales or whatever. And, and again, everybody's fear is not being successful or not being able to get parties booked. So they don't want to be committed to something that they feel like, they're not sure that they can even do. So yeah, that's why I say, keep it light, keep it simple.
Yep.
Okay. So how do you know what to say? So as we said, it's actually pretty easy. We're going to talk about some 4-question recruiting sample. And then really the big thing is as you're having this conversation with people, as you ask them a question, the hard part is to shut up and listen to them. We want to, and I know this is something, as a newer consultant, you just want to tell them everything there is about the business, everything, and it's too much. And it overwhelms them. Yeah. And so it's really important to, again, as you ask them a question, close your mouth, even if you have to touch your mouth, close your mouth and listen to what they have to say. And then from that, direct your conversation. If they're like, I just love the product and I want a discount, there's no sense for you to be going on and on and on about how much money you can make and about the trips you can earn and, things like that, because that's not something they're interested in. And it's really like way higher up where they see themselves working. And you would probably end up talking them out of it because they're going to think that's what they have to do. So, so that's the most important thing is, when you ask a question, really, be quiet, listen to what they have to say, and then you'll kind of take the conversation from there and just guide it around their responses and what they're looking for, and just, answer just those questions. Don't bring in everything else to it. That will all come in time. That makes sense?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So anyway, so the first, one of your best opportunities for a recruit at every party is your host. And the reason that is she already likes you enough that she's invited you into her home. She's already excited enough about the product because she obviously wants lots of it. That's why she's hosting. And of course, by hosting, it's almost like a little taste of the business. So anyway, so definitely be talking with your host at every single party. Talk with every single host about the business opportunity. And I recommend, chatting with her at least 3 times, if not more. One time before the party. So what I do is I'm going through that host packet. So in the host packet, I include the little brochure. It used to be the green, the orange, come join us. Now it's something else. Do you know which brochure I'm talking about, Laura?
I didn't know that it changed. I guess I need to look. Talk about.
It's this, I don't know. I'm not in front of my camera. Make Every Day Better. Can you see it? Am I holding it up to the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. So this is the new recruiting brochure. So I put that in my host packet with the current month's recruiting special, and then the kit coupon. So that basically lets the host know that as a, one of the benefits of hosting is that she gets a discount on, she can use her free product to get a discount on her kit. So I tuck the flyer and the coupon into the Make Your Everyday Better, and it goes into the host packet.
Where do you get the coupon at?
There's a couple different places. It's under if you go to Pampered Chef, go to PCU and go to the host coaching course.
Okay.
And then go under resources.
Okay.
And it's there. Kit coupon. A kit credit coupon.
And you put all 3 of those in with your hostess pack along with the catalogs, the party link, and all that good stuff?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. All that. So anyway, so that's part of my host packet. And, and so as I'm going, again, that first call when I'm going over, inviting and all that kind of stuff, I basically go through everything in the host packet. So I draw her attention to that. And I say, I've included some information about joining Pampered Chef. And, if there's something that stood out to me about her when I first, from the first party, like why I would enjoy working with her, or why she would make a good consultant or whatever. If there's something like that that I can refer to, I will say that, like, I really think you'd really enjoy, joining us or being part of our team, or, whatever. And I give her the opportunity, if you decide to do this before your party, we can make this your launch party. So, so I do talk to her up front, because again, before I start collecting orders, if she decides to join, then, I want her to have this party as her grand opening. Right. So anyway, so I have the coupon tucked into the packet, and that kind of gives me a reason to talk about it, because I'm going through everything in the host packet with her. So I'll draw her attention to that, and then, let her know, if she decides to join before her party, this could be her launch party. So that's my first time to talk to her.
Okay.
Then I will talk to her, and then depending on how that conversation goes, I may talk to her again on another host coaching call. Like if she does seem interested, or if she had some questions or whatever, I would certainly follow up again just to be sure, like, have you, did you decide, would you like to, join and make this your launch party? If the first time I talked to her, she really was, oh, no, there's no way I would do this, blah, 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 whatever. I don't usually ask again until I get to her party. And again, as we're chatting and setting up, kind of depending on that response from her the first time, I may or may not bring it up to her again at that point. But again, if there was some interest and I think she, might want to join, I give her that opportunity. Even like when I walk in the door, we can still get her signed up and, turn this party into hers, so I don't want her to miss out on that opportunity. And then for every host, no matter whether she said, express some interest to me or said no the first time, I always go through the opportunity to join and use her free product towards a discount on her kit. So when I wrap up the party, as I'm closing up that day, so we've done the party, I'm getting ready to go home, I go through the benefits with her. And so, I let her know, you get so much free product, you're going to get so many half price items, da, 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 da. And one of the best benefits of hosting a party is you have an opportunity to join Pampered Chef with a discount. And then,
Right.
again, I'll refer back. Do you remember we talked about that at the beginning? Do you have any, do you have any questions, or what do you think after, hosting? Are you, is this something that might be of interest to you? So I share with her that joining and using her kit credit, using that free product, just like as excitedly and as big of a benefit as the free product and the half price.
Okay.
So I kind of look at it. She's getting free product. She's getting half price items. She's getting a monthly host special. She's getting an opportunity to join. They're all equal in my book.
Okay.
So again, whether she said yes or no at the beginning, I'm going to offer it to her again.
You're just going to keep saying it.
Yep, I just keep asking because you never know. And like I said, usually what happens is the first time I get that, no, I never really thought about it, or gosh, I'm just so busy, I don't think so, whatever. I usually kind of get more of a no at the beginning. But then by the time, you've pointed it out and she maybe has read the material in the host packet, you were at the party and, she heard again about, part of your party is going to be sharing the opportunity. You talk to her again, with the host credit. By that time, I have a lot of hosts that have changed their mind and they're looking to join.
Right. Okay.
So chatting with your host. As it says here, reference the kit credit coupon as an easy way to do that. So that's, getting started. So definitely if you include that kit credit coupon in the host packet, it gives you a reason to talk about it because again, you're going through all the material. So it's right there in front of you. You're going to talk about it. And same thing too, as you're, wrapping up, it's sitting right there. If you're looking at that coupon, you can't help but talk about it. So, and if you forget, maybe she has read, maybe she went through the materials in the host packet and maybe she's like, what is this? I don't get it, and then that gives you a chance to talk. And then I always share the bookings with her, they're her friends and family. So if she does get started, I let her know that any bookings from that party will be hers to get started. Okay.
So if you walked in and a party was already booked under her name and everything, and she said, you know what, I think I am going to, this will be my launch, you just immediately stop right there and don't even use that, and what, you sign her there or afterwards?
Yep,
and
I would go right to, again, as I'm setting up, I would probably set up real quick just so this ready to go. I'd go right on, sign her up, because again, it's all instant. So she can go right to my website, sign up, or actually I could hand her my iPad. Here, I get her to the website, go ahead and get signed up while I'm setting up. And then as soon as she's signed up, you go right into her consultant's corner. She's logged in, go right into consultant's corner and set up that party with her.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, it's really that fast. Yeah. I mean, she signs up and she immediately has access to consultant's corner and can immediately do a party.
Have you ever done that?
I have.
Ah, that would be fun.
Yeah, it is fun, because then, and then it's that much more exciting. No, I would do the party. Like normally when I do a grand opening, I encourage them to do quite a bit of it. At this point, I would still do the party because she's brand new, but I would definitely be talking up bookings and, getting all of her friends excited to have a party to help her launch her business.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, generally it doesn't usually if she is going to sign up, a lot of times I know it in advance, like as I'm host coaching her. So I would have already signed her up prior to the party, but there's been times where I've walked in and that's when she decided.
Nice.
And then more times than not, though, I get, if they don't sign up, like as I start the host coaching, then usually it's after the party and then she uses her free product.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually get it either right at the very beginning of host coaching or after the party when she has kit credit. Is usually how it works, but you just never know.
Right.
So, okay. Then another, of course, are your guests. So those are the other other people that you're looking at for recruit leads. And so obviously you want to be doing some informing at the show. And so that's what we call the planting the seeds throughout. So it doesn't hurt, as you're doing your opening, share your story, a little bit about what Pampered Chef has meant to you and your family. And kind of throw it out like, watch what I do tonight. And if you see yourself in my shoes, let's chat. Give them that opportunity. Let them know this is something that you might like to do. And then, I encourage doing something at the show to kind of go through the benefits of joining. So it's either a question and answer time or a ticket activity. There's some other games I don't play, like Stealing Hearts, but I can direct you to that information if you need it. Some people share paychecks, just to share what the opportunity is all about. There's no right or wrong way of how to share the opportunity, but you definitely want to take some time to share a little bit about joining and then, what it could mean to them. Because you've kind of shared your story and what it means to you, but you kind of want to open that up broader. Because like I said, if I share, like, I was a stay-at-home mom, anybody who's working is going to be like, well, then that's not for me, so you want to make sure that they realize it can be, just as you said, full-time, part-time, whether you work, whether you don't, whatever, it's all there. And really, if you're not sure what to say, let me grab a catalog real quick. There is just, really, I direct them to the back page, inside of the back cover with the kits. And then there's also some just great information. You can kind of just direct them to here, and here's some information. Let me know if you have some questions about that, or even, talk them through it with how, people that that have benefited from, the various things, earning free product, the training support, whatever. So it's all there. So that can kind of be your spiel, if you will. And then always, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to throw something in there.
Yeah.
And I'll see if I can find information on it, but it was something I had learned several years back, and I can't remember. It was called a backwards catalog party. And basically you're starting the party out where everybody takes the catalog, and you start at the back page and you have them look at the back page where it was showing the kit.
Oh,
and then
that's interesting.
And then you show them what a hostess can get having a party.
Yeah.
And then remember what came after that, but those were they said, this is a backwards catalog party, and this is how we're going to start it. I want everybody to look at the back of your catalog. And they went the first 5-10 minutes, that part of it, before the rest of the show.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Like I said, there's so many different ways to do it, and there's not one that's right or wrong. It's whatever speaks to you and you're comfortable doing. So anyway, okay, so you want to do something during the party to share information. And then, just like it's vital when you're doing your checkout chat to be asking everybody if they're interested in booking a party, it's also vital that you ask if, anything that was said at the party, if it piqued their interest about joining, or if they have any questions about joining. But I think it's really, really important to ask that question of everybody, because just like with bookings, you get that door prize that they wrote no on there, no to everything. But they're the person that either booked a party or said that they're interested in learning more. So I ask every single person, but I find it easier to have this conversation if I've talked about the business opportunity during the party. If you haven't talked about it at all, it's super awkward at the checkout to ask if they're interested, because they're like, well, I don't even know, what are you talking about? Whatever. So that's why I said it's really imperative that you do have a segment of your party where you're talking about bookings, you're talking about the business, so that when you get to checkout, those questions make sense to them. Does that make sense?
Right.
So, okay. And then something that I don't do, but I know some successful consultants do, they do what's called a yes form. Where I don't know if they print it like on the order form or on the back or whatever, where it basically says, yes, order me and it's the 3 different prices of the kits, and let's set up a party date. Or I think it's like they do it as a little flyer. So if that's something that you're curious about or would like to try at your parties, I can direct you to the information, but they basically, put that somehow with, I don't know if they clip it to the order form or it's in the packet or whatever for the guests, but basically just making it easy for them to order a kit instead of a party date. The easier you make it, and it's, it's not that big of a deal. You're going to order a kit, we're going to set up a date. That's all there is. Makes it pretty quick and easy. Say that again.
That's a great party.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's really, that's when it comes down to it, to get started, that's all it is order a kit and set a date for your grand opening. You know, there's not much
Yep.
more to it. And when you make it that simple, people are like, well, yeah, sure, why not? You know, so
Mhm.
just an idea if you'd like to jump on that. Okay, so anyway, recruiting conversations, questions, and tips. So, how to start the conversation when reaching out to a lead on your launch list. So, this would be kind of your personal friends and family, because that's what your launch list is all about. And you know, something that you could say to somebody. So, it's, I don't know that I would, I mean, there's no reason not to, but I haven't asked everybody like on my original launch list if they wanted to join. But let's say you had, you know, on your list, there's somebody you know that either you would like to work with because they're your friend and you think it would be fun to do this together with them, or maybe you know somebody on your list, you know, that would benefit from Pampered Chef in some form. Either they need the money, or you know how much they love the product and they'd love to have a discount, or you know, whatever. Those would be the people I'd be reaching out to. And this would be some words you could say, something to the effect of, I'm having so much fun with Pampered Chef and I'd love to have you do this with me. I thought of you because, so kind of goes back into, I know how much you love Pampered Chef, or I know, you know, how much you like to party, or, you know, whatever it might be, you know, so compliment them basically with why you thought of them. So again, that would be kind of that more personal person that you're going to reach out to, but doesn't hurt, you know, like I said, you know, like I said, there's that person that you just keep thinking about, like, you know, I think they'd be really good at this, you know, go
Mhm.
ahead and reach out to them. That's what it's all about. Anyway, and then, you know, as you're talking with other people, some questions that you can ask is, you know, have you ever considered doing something like Pampered Chef? You know, that would be like maybe to your host as you're, you know, kind of starting that host coaching. Have you ever considered doing something like this before? And then again,
Mhm.
be quiet and listen to them. And they may say yes or no, who knows? And you know, if they can, have them elaborate, like if they thought about it, say, oh, really? You know, what's held you back? You know, why haven't they joined if they've been thinking about it? You know, so maybe you can meet some objections. What intrigues you about the idea of joining Pampered Chef? So that's a good one. Like if you've talked about the business and, you know, all the different benefits about it, you know, kind of get their take. You know, what sounds interesting to you? What appeals to
Mhm.
you? You know, why would you, you know, what makes you want to think about joining? And then a biggie, what concerns do you have about joining? That's where you're going to find out what's holding them back. And that's, you know, and
Right.
again, after you've kind of got, yes, I'm interested, I'm, you know, I'm intrigued, whatever, you know, certainly ask what concerns they have. And that's where you're going to get, well, I don't know if I have enough time. I don't know if I know enough people. I don't know if my husband will let me, you know, those kind of things. And when that's out there, you can certainly, you know, help them through those situations. And then of course, ask them, you know, do you have any other questions, or are you ready to go ahead and order your kit? And I think, you know, again, that's a key question, you know, no matter when you're meeting somebody. So I'm kind of thinking these questions to ask kind of are more at your full service checkout. So like if you're getting yeses and they're ready to go, you know, don't do a, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. If they're ready to sign them up right then and there. And I have done that right at the party. You know, I have them get on their
Okay.
phone, go to, you know, here's my website, go ahead and get signed up. You know,
Okay.
same thing too, like if I was to meet with somebody, like let's say, you know, somebody had expressed interest and we're going to meet for coffee. Usually one of the first questions I ask them is, you know, do you have any questions about joining, or are you ready to get your kit ordered? Sometimes the only reason they want to meet with you is because they don't know how to order the kit. They've made up their
Right.
mind. They don't have any questions. And if you go through a whole spiel of, you know, telling them all about the business and this and that, you might end up talking them out of it because maybe something they hadn't thought about, you brought up. And, you know, again, and you didn't mean to bring it up like in a bad way, but maybe they're like, ooh, I don't know now. Maybe I don't want to do it. You know, so
Right.
I always lead with, you know, hey, are you just ready to get the kit ordered? Let's go ahead and do it. You know, because sometimes that they're ready. You know, like again, we think they have more questions and they need to go to talk to somebody, and they don't. They're ready to go. So,
Right.
and then of course, you know, most people are going to have some sort of a concern. You know, how much, you know, how much other money do I have to spend? How much time is it going to take? How much, you know, how many shows do I have to do? You know, whatever. So as they have their concerns, as you are addressing those, always validate their concern. You know, don't say, ah, that's so silly. You know, I mean, that's not, I mean, it's a concern to them. So I always say, well, I totally understand that. Or, you know, I understand, you know, a lot of people have had that same concern, or I had that concern when I got started. You know, let them know that
Mhm.
it's a valid concern. And then, you know, do your best to offer up a solution, or maybe ask them some more questions that they can come up with their own solution. And then always follow up with a question. So, you know, let's say they're like, oh, I'm so busy, blah, blah. You know, you're going to validate that. I totally understand. You know, everybody is so busy in this day and age. You know, but maybe ask a couple of questions. Well, you know, what all do you do? You know, and let them, you know, share whatever. And again, after you kind of get to a point where like maybe you've offered a solution to them, then, you know, follow up with another question like, you know, like, well, does that take, you know, something to the effect of, you know, would you, if we could resolve, usually what I say is, if you could resolve that issue, would you be ready to sign up? If we could, you know, work through your scheduling issues, would you be ready to sign up?
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like, if we can work through that, would you sign up, or would you be ready? Or do you have some other questions beyond that? So, you know, you can't always, after you kind of offer that solution, or, you know, whatever, you want to ask that next question, like just kind of keeping them moving to a yes. You know, and if they're not moving to that yes, find out what that next concern might be. Does that make sense?
Yep, it all
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay, good. Okay, so as we say, when it comes to recruiting, don't freak out. It's really just a conversation, you know. And again, it's one of those things in our head, we make it so much bigger, and really it's no different than, really, I mean, it is bigger than hosting a party, but really not.
No, it really isn't.
It really isn't, you know. I
Right.
mean, it's, you know, do you want to host a party? Do you want to join the business? You know, here's all these opportunities I have for you. Tell me what you want.
Right.
You know, and it's really no, if you want to join, great. If you don't, you know, host a party then, or, you know, be my customer. You know, I don't really care. And I really try to be that even keel about it, so that, you know, whatever they decide to do is fine with me.
Yeah.
Okay, so of course, this is a skill that you want to keep working on. And there is great training at Pampered Chef University. There is a whole course on recruiting, and I'm going to point out some new things that have just posted there. So we'll get there in just a minute. But, you know, it does take, and Laura, you'll probably agree. I mean, think back to your very first team member that you met with and joined, and how you approach it now. I know is very, very different.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
The first one was Sandy.
Oh, see, I couldn't
Remember
even
Sandy?
remember who your first person was. Yeah, yeah.
Andy. Yeah.
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 So,
Completely
and
different.
it's like everything else. The more you do it, the
Mhm.
easier it gets. And
Yeah.
of course, you're honing your skills. So, you know, you're you know, getting better and better at it. Like everything, it takes practice. The first time you do it, we're all nervous and scared because we've never done anything like that before.
Right.
But the more you do it, the better you get.
Right.
So, okay. So skills are such a major component of your success. The more you tweak your skills, the more you learn about selling, host coaching, booking, recruiting, the better your business is going to be. So the bigger your skill, the bigger your check. So I always like that. And that is it. I mean, we can always build our skills. You know, me, after all these years, I still, you know, take the courses at Pampered Chef University. I still go to conference. I still go to retreats. I still, you know, listen to the resources that are shared from conference. I mean, there's just so much information out there, and, you know, the basics stay the same, but things do change, and you always hear from different people, you know, something hits you like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. I'm going to give that a try. Or it's, you know, you hear from somebody that you really look up to, and you're like, wow, they're very successful. How about if I try what they're doing, you know, kind of thing. So, so you're always, always, always building your skills. So any questions on anything?
No.
Anything I said tonight that you're like, let me give that a try? I'm just curious what struck you.
I'm definitely going to, all of the recruiting stuff that you're putting in your hostess packs and the kit coupon and all that.
Perfect.
I even thought about doing anything like that, but I'm going to do that. And then also, the more that you're talking about it through the party, the more it is easier than when you're at a one-on-one checking them out to bring it up. You're right.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
Because
otherwise, then you kind of have to do your spiel right there, and that doesn't make sense at that point. So kind of do the group thing, and then it's easy to follow up with, you know, hey, we talked a little bit about the business. What appealed to you?
Yeah. So I think definitely those two big things.
Good. Okay. So let me go. I'm going to go into Pampered Chef University because I want to show you a couple of things. So let me change the screen share here. And I'll show you where that coupon is, since I'm going to Pampered Chef University.
Oh, wait. Sorry, my dog's barking. So
That's, if your dog starts barking, mine might start barking back.
we've got some people that are doing roofing next door, and it's just got her all freaked
Are
out.
they still out there now this late?
No, but she's all skitterish for some reason now, and she keeps going by the window and kind of looking. It kind of spooked her today.
Yeah.
She's the most nervous dog.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to,
Hold on, I just got to look at your numbers there for a
okay.
second.
Whoops, sorry. I'll go back.
Holy smokes.
I'm happy to
just-
share my
I
numbers
gotta
because
look
you're
at
part of them.
I got to look at that in awe.
You can do it too.
I hope.
I was trying to make it big, but I can't make it big. There
I
you
just
go.
love yours. That's amazing. How many parties is that?
I can't remember what I did this month.
That's
Like
November.
6 or 8, maybe. Probably 6. I haven't been booking as many as I usually do. I'd say about 6.
That's amazing.
So
What's the highest you've had in 1 month?
sales. I think my highest was 17,000.
Oh my God.
That was a busy month. I was exhausted.
I can't even imagine.
But also too, I mean, you can do it while you're working a job. People do, but you got to remember, I don't work another job.
Yeah.
So that does free up my time a little bit. Okay.
I'm-
So I'm at Pampered Chef University. I'm going to go into host coaching because I'm going to show you those resources. We talked about here, host packet materials. Do you see that second category there?
Yep.
Okay. When you open that up at the very bottom there, kit credit coupon.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And there's like 3 to a sheet. So I,
Yep.
cut them and just put 1. So the flyer, the coupon, and then the brochure.
Nice.
And I tuck it all together inside the brochure and put that in the host packet. And again, if it's there, if it's in front of you, it kind of cues you to talk about it.
Well, I got little packs already put together that if I'm going to meet somebody because they're interested in signing, that's got, a catalog. It's got the brochure showing what the kits are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something else in there too. I can't remember, but I'm going to add those kit coupons to it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Definitely on my hostess packs.
Yeah. And the thing is, for your host, she's already hosting. So, let her know this is one of the benefits. But, for somebody who's kind of thinking about the business, sometimes they're not quite ready to commit. Share the coupon with them and say, you know what, how about let's host a party together first?
Yeah.
And then you can use this coupon. One of the benefits of hosting is then you could use, some of your free product to get a discount on your kit. And any bookings I get from this party will be yours as well.
And then also you said something about a game or something somebody does with coupons at the party.
It's when you talk about the business, you can do, the ticket game or a question and answer game.
No, there was one that you said that it had something, a picture of the kit, which kit you want, and we'll book your party.
Oh, the yes coupon.
Where's that?
I'll have to dig up for you. That is not at Pampered Chef University. That's something another consultant made up.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
let me see if I can find that for you.
I would like to have that at every
Okay.
party I do attached to the catalogs.
Yeah, let me make a note. I know I have it somewhere in my notes, but I'll find it for you. Okay, so so if you include that kit coupon in your, even when you're just talking to somebody, because like I said, if you can get them to commit all the way, obviously that's what you want. But if they're still kind of, I don't know, or whatever, I go right then for a party. Let's have a party. That way you're getting some sales, right? And and then, like I said, that kind of gives them a taste of it. And then when they get a couple of bookings from their friends, it makes that decision a whole lot easier.
Right.
Okay, so that's that. Then I wanted to show you what I recommend for your homework for this week is, again, at Pampered Chef University under the recruiting course, go under peer sharing resources. And this very first one, go ahead.
I'm writing it down.
The recruiting course, and then it was the under course resources.
Okay.
Peer sharing resources.
Okay.
And the very top one, remove the fear and replace it with desire to recruit. And that is a brand new course from conference this past summer.
Remove
So I
the fear and
recommend.
desire to recruit. Okay.
Yep. And then also too, another really good course, actually, it's only a minute long. Julie Gizzy's Recruiting from the Heart. That shows how she talks about the business as part of her show.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
And that, like I said, that's like a minute and a half. That's really what she does at her party. And then
Okay.
from there, any other of these, Make It a Growing Team is a good one from a previous conference. Top Recruiters Tell All, Genevieve Black and Brenda Copy. I know both those girls, really good recruiters. So you might want to listen to either of those
Okay.
too. But for sure, remove the fear and replace it with desire to recruit, and Julie Gizzy's Recruiting from the Heart.
Okay, I can do that.
So yeah, Julie Gizzy's is a minute. I know you can do that right now as soon as we get off the call.
Yeah, I think I can even, I'm thinking about it, if I can do it on my phone in the car through the speaker, the Bluetooth. I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't see why not. This remove the fear, maybe not, because it's kind of a bunch of different modules.
Okay.
Let me go to it real quick.
Wouldn't that be nice though?
But the others, like the others that are like an audio from conference.
Yeah, be listen
Yeah,
to
so
them.
this is kind of more of an interactive course, the very first thing that I showed you. But listening to, let me go back to this. Like the one that I said was, if you do any of these Top Recruiters Tell All, Genevieve Black, Brenda Copy, that is all audio. So yes, you could absolutely listen to that on your phone.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
and I did, something that I did, and I need to go back doing it, but when I was promoting to director, and this was back in the day, so this was like 15 years ago or more, and you could check out DVDs, or it was cassette tapes at the time. You could check out cassette tapes. So basically all these conference recordings were on tape, and I always had a tape in my car, and I especially listened to a tape when I went to a show. It just kind of got my mind in the right place. So now it's not tapes, but yes, it's these recordings. You can listen to them on your phone. And yeah, I mean, how far is your drive every day back and forth to work? Like 20 minutes?
Yep. 20-25.
Yeah. So in 2 days or a whole day going and coming, you could have a whole thing listened to.
Right. Well, I think the more that you're hearing it, your mind is there.
Right. And like I said, I just found, for me, especially, like my kids were always in the car other times, so I didn't listen as much other times because my kids were like, really? Do we have to listen to one of these? Kind of things when they were little. But when I was going to a show, I was by myself. And so I always had a tape playing. And again, I did, whatever you need to work on. Like as I was promoting to director, obviously it was recruiting and building my team. So I was listening to recruiting tape after recruiting tape, listening to, all the top sellers and what they said and what they did.
Nice.
So, so do the same thing. I mean, if, like I said, if nothing else, when you're going to a party, it just gets your mind in the right place.
Yep, I can do that.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for joining the call. And anything else I can help you with?
I do have a couple of questions or something I want to ask you maybe after the recording's done.
Yeah, let me stop the recording then real quick. Okay. If I can figure that out there.